Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca at the Church of Chewbacca, and today the Run It Back pack came out, and essentially it features 15 players, and when you open the pack, you get a choice of one of 5. I'm going to do a review here of the players in the pack. We're not going to do in-depth true reviews like we typically do with cards, but I'm going to go over some of them, and I'll give you kind of what my take is on the best cards to pick. I think you can use this pack to help complete team affinities, as well as make some stubs, because obviously you can either sell the cards for 5,000 stubs quick sell, or you can sell them on the market. I'm not sure what the market value of some of these cards will be. The way to get this pack is to either play the Run It Back Showdown or the Run It Back Conquest map. I'll show you where both of those are, as well as I'll be putting out a Showdown tutorial to help you guys get this Run It Back pack. Before we get into going over this Run It Back, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys think about the Run It Back pack, what you think about the Showdown and Conquest. Like I said, a tutorial for the Showdown will be out here shortly after this video goes live. Also, hit the notification bell so you know whenever I'm uploading more videos. And don't forget to share the video with any of your friends that play MLB The Show so we can continue to grow the channel. I appreciate all the support you guys have given me so far. Let's get into it. So first, we're going to go over where the Showdown and Conquest are at before we get into actually going over the pack. So the Showdown is located in the Play tab. Underneath Showdown, you're going to go in here, and it'll be down here to the left of Extreme. You're going to enter the Run It Back, and it's 500 stubs to get in there. As you guys can see, it's too many Showdowns in a final Showdown. It's 16 outs with 12 runs. We'll give an in-depth tutorial how to go through this. I'll give a breakdown of an initial draft, go over each of the mini missions, who you have to face pitching, who you have to face. If you are the pitcher, what batters you got to face. It should help you guys out to complete this. I think this will be a little bit quicker than the Conquest, but if you're not a good Showdown player, you can always go and do the Conquest. And I'll show you where the Conquest is at right now. The Conquest is located here. Once again, in the Play tab, Conquest. It's going to be in the Run It Back here. And honestly, there are goals for it, which will give you some extra packs, like headliner packs and whatnot, a little bit of stubs and XP. But really, what you got to do is you got to just conquer all the territories. If you need a tutorial video for this, let me know in the comments down below. I'll give you a quick tutorial video. Honestly, you're just going to have to play 6 games against each of these strongholds, and you can literally play them on Rookie, play them on Veteran, play them on whatever difficulty you want. If you need help with it, let me know. I'll do a quick tutorial video for you guys on how to go about completing the Conquest. But it's pretty easy. These packs will be relatively easy to get. They're just going to be some time consumption. To play about 6 games, it takes about 20 minutes to play a 3-inning game, depending how quickly you play it. I guess you could like score a couple runs on Rookie and then bunt, so you do a little bit faster. It's going to take you about an hour and a half minimum probably get through these 6 games. On average, it'll probably take you about 2 hours. That's why I said the Showdown's faster. Showdown will take you about an hour. Let's go look at this pack and see what's located in it. So as I mentioned, if you beat Showdown or Conquest, you're going to get one of these packs. You're going to go in here and there's 15 options you could possibly get. You get 5 of them. We'll open the pack at the end of this video just to kind of show you what you're going to look like whenever you open the pack. But we can go over each one of these cards very quickly and what I think about each one of them. Like I said, it's not going to be an in-depth true review. I'm not going to give them a Chewy rating. But we'll go over and I'll let you guys know kind of what I think about the card. Quick review of each one of them. There are 15 of them. If you would like an in-depth true review of each of the cards, let me know in the comments down below. I don't mind putting together in-depth true review videos for each one of the cards. I can give you what I think are like my top 3 or top 5, which I'll actually kind of mention in this video anyways. Let me know what you guys want to see in relation to this pack. I think, like I said, they are going to be great for Team Affinity hand-ins. As you'll see here, I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about so you guys kind of understand what I'm getting at with the Team Affinity turn-in. So as you see, I have like some of these completed, some of them not completed. But let's like go look at the Seattle Mariners. You're going to go to missions, and you're going to go to exchange rivals. And I guarantee you one of these cards is going to be the diamond here. Alright, so as you see, Elvis Andrus is one of the cards. You hand him in for the 100,000 exchange value because he's a diamond, which will obviously more than 50. You don't get to double up. You only get to do it one time. But as you see in the missions, that's going to give you exchange the Mariners rivals. It's going to give you 10 points towards fans to unlock things within this program. So you do it 5 times and you can move up this path here 7 times, how many times you want. You do it 12 times, you can just do an exchange, get all the way through this Team Affinity to get ready for Stage 4. So it's actually a good way to set yourself up for Stage 4 as well, let alone some of the cards are going to be usable for the Run It Back. So let's go here. like I said, open the pack again and go over each one of the cards and kind of what I think about them. Some of them are good cards, some of them are crappy cards. I'll let you guys know from the jump. All right, so we're back into the pack here. And sorry for that little tangent about Team Affinities. I just think it's a really good way to use them, especially because a lot of people are like, well, what if I get a bunch of the, like, 5 terrible ones? Well, just exchange it. I mean, you could sell it for 5,000 subs, but I'd rather exchange it for the 10 points, move towards those Stage 4 Team Affinities, because there's going to be some good Stage 4 Team Affinities that come out, I'm sure. You've already got those 97s and 99s. They're going to have to be at least 97s and 99s again, right? I'm assuming they're going to be the finest cards, but we'll see what comes in Stage 4 when the time comes. We'll obviously do a very in-depth review of any Stage 4 stuff that comes out on the YouTube channel. Let's get into it first. We'll go over Tyler Clippard here. All right, so Tyler Clippard, this is his 91 overall prime card. He has pretty decent pitch repertoire. You're looking at it, 4-seam fastball, changeup, cutter, curveball. He has a decent change of pace in his pitches. I think this is a great card for somebody that is newer to the game. He does have a good 108 hits per 9, 112 K per 9. Might be a card that's useful if they have a prime event that comes up. His base on balls per 9 and control, he's going to be a little bit wild. His windup is a little goofy with the release and whatnot. I think he could be a usable card. Not the best. But if you're going to get one of the lower cards, I think this Clippard could be the answer. Will I use him in my bullpen? Obviously, me personally, no. But for a newer player, I think this Clippard's actually pretty decent. Good 9s, decent pitch repertoire. The next card you can get this Elvis Andrus, and this card's just terrible. This is probably the worst card in the entire pack. There's so many shortstops that are out there, especially for free ones. You have all of the Player of the Months. There's 3 of them that are better than this Elvis Andrus. You can see that he's a contact hitter, decent speed at 85. Just not impressive to me. This is a card that only I will be picking up for exchanges for their rivals. Other than that, this card is absolutely trash. Greg Holland here. This card could be money. Let's look at his quirks real quick because that's going to determine how much I like this card. He does not have outlier, so that hurts him a little bit, I guess. But he does have Mr. Splitty, which is going to make his splitter very effective, which is important. So this Greg Holland, he has a little bit of a goofy release as well. Has good hits per 9 at 108, and then a great Ks per 9 at max 125. Once again, a guy that could struggle a little bit with control because he has a lower base on balls per 9 and only 83 control. But he does have a good pitch repertoire. He's a closing pitcher. He's going to help throw about 99 miles an hour. Has that curveball that's only going 76. And then the slider and the splitter. Doesn't have a changeup, but the splitter can kind of act as a changeup, although that's a very hard changeup splitter. That's why I said Mr. Splitty is kind of important for it. This is another card. If you're a newer player or you just have been having some troubles in the bullpen, pick up this Greg Holland. I actually think he could be pretty useful even on a God squad because it's somebody that you might not see as often as other pitchers, especially not until people start unlocking him. Lee Smith. This card right here has me excited. He does have low hits per 9 at 98 hits per 9, which is unfortunate. But he is another closing pitcher, and I've always pitched really well with Lee Smith. He throws an absolute fireball out of his hand. He doesn't have outlier 1 either, which is disappointing because Lee Smith was probably the hardest throwing closing pitcher in his era. He's a little bit wild, but man, he threw the ball hard. He has a typical Lee Smith pitch repertoire, the 4-seam fastball, slider, cutter, and forkball. The forkball does have pretty unique movement. He's going to hit 100 miles an hour, so he does have that good change of speed. The control is actually a little bit higher than I thought it would be for this Lee Smith, so that has me excited. He's going to be an absolute stud in a lot of people's bullpens, I think. This is a guy that could definitely see some time in my bullpen because I just love the Lee Smith cards, so I really like this one. If you guys see this one in the pack and there's not some other guys maybe of knees that you want to try out, pick up this Lee Smith. I think he gets my approval here as one of the better cards in this pack. Next is a Jonathan Lucroy. He's the catcher from whenever he played for the Milwaukee Brewers. This is his prime card. Just not impressed with it. There's so many other better catchers out there. He's going to obviously hit lefties a little bit better at the 118 contact. Not a fan of it. If I had 4 thumbs, I'd give this one 4 thumbs down. Honestly, he's not worth it in this pack other than for trade-in fodder for the team affinity or just to get the 5,000 stubs. I know some people might disagree because he has a pretty good glitchy swing, but I'm not a huge fan of this. There's just better catchers you can get. Third baseman for the Cincinnati Reds, the Signature Series Tony Perez here. Did Tony Perez have a prime card last year? I think he did. Had like a 92 or 93. Kind of interested. I don't know too much about his swing or anything. He actually has decent attributes. for a third baseman. I think there are better cards, though. Even a better Cincinnati Red, if I'm being honest. I would take Eugenio Suarez's Topps Now card over this Tony Perez any day of the week. However, he does have good attributes across the board. They're very similar to some of the Topps Now that I went over yesterday. And the 100-plus contact is something nice to have with decent pop at 89+, good vision at 95. The fielding's lackluster. Like I said, though, if you're a Cincinnati Reds fan, I'm picking that Suarez Topps Now over this Tony Perez anyway. If you're making like a Reds theme team. Other than that, I don't know if this card's really worth picking up. So many better options at the corner. Adam Wainwright, the bane of everyone's existence last year with his 95 Signature Series card. This card kind of looks like that card did last year. Throws the ball a little bit slower because last year his Signature Series was going 95 miles an hour. But this one's, I guess the ball will reach 95, 96 with that 93 mile per hour. Obviously he has that nasty pitch repertoire with the curveball. This could be a sleeper pick. Now his hits per 9 are very low right now for the game at 88. He doesn't have great Ks per 9. He's always been a contact pitcher, a pitch to contact type of guy. So that's not too big of a deal. I would like to see his control a little bit higher, especially for a prime Adam Wainwright. Obviously, he threw a lot of pitches when he was in his prime at the 108 stamina. For a newer player, I think that Wainwright could be very productive in a bullpen, but honestly, at this point in the game, not too impressed. Although, like I said, this could be that sleeper pick. He's a very hard pitcher to hit last year, and a lot of people had him as an in-game pitcher at only 95 overall. We'll see how he plays. I'll have to get into a further review later on to let you guys know about the Wainwright. And I will bring up his name for sure if he's one of those sleeper picks that plays a lot better than what his overall is. Cliff Lee, this card right here, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't pick it other than for trade-in fodder. It is a 96 overall. He is a left-handed pitcher. He does have a primary as a sinker, but 83 hits per 9. It doesn't matter who you are. It's not going to cut it. That Roy Oswalt, that's the prime card from the first inning boss, has similar hits per 9 when you prestige him, and I know some guys are still kind of using that card in the game, and he has a great pitch repertoire, but his ball explodes at the high 90s. You're only getting about 95, 96 miles an hour with this Cliff Lee. It's kind of disappointing. He does have all the necessary pitches to be amazing, though, so I guess we'll see. Right now, I wouldn't pick this Cliff Lee or even put him in my rotation, but this is up for further investigation here. Like I said, the hits per 9 at 83, those automatic no-go for me, even with the great control and the amazing pitch repertoire of the sinker, cutter, four-seam fastball, circle changing, knuckle curve. So, I don't know. I'm not impressed. 83 hits per 9 is way too low for me. This Curtis Granderson, I wish this card would have came out earlier in the year. I love Curtis Granderson. He's one of my favorite players to watch growing up. As well, I think his old ass still plays now, to be honest. He's like 45 still out there playing. He might have not played in the Corona shortened season. Yeah, he's just a great player, a hustle guy. Made a difference on a lot of teams. And this is typical Curtis Granderson. Smashes righties compared to his earlier card that was the Yankees card where he smashed lefties. That was a player program. Just not too impressive. I mean, even as a platoon guy right now in the game, I don't know if you would use him. Maybe with his swing is always super glitchy in the game, you might want to use him as a bench bat if you're a newer player. Or even in the outfield if you're a newer guy that needs a decent outfielder. You can play him in all three positions. Has decent fielding across the board. 86 speed is definitely good for this Curtis Granderson. But overall, just I wish his attributes were a little bit better for the Grandy man here. Now we're getting into the cards that are going to be in people's team for sure. This Wade Davis, 2 years ago the card was absolutely nasty. Last year the card wasn't that great. We'll see how the card is this year, but his attributes, he's getting into my bullpen. Look at his pitch repertoire. Four-seam fastball, cutter, knuckle curve. My man got a sinker and a slider. His hits per 9 is the max 125. K per 9, 117. Base on balls per 9 is 72 with 81 control. So he can be a little bit wild, but who cares? The dude's attributes are redonkulous. This is the card that has me the most excited in this pack from when I've seen people releasing stuff or whatever else. This Wade Davis, 100% you get him. Put him in your bullpen. This card's going to be filthy. He has the necessary pitch repertoire, the necessary attributes. Go and get this guy if you get him. By God, you've been lucky. Pick this guy up. Put him in your bullpen. Javier Baez, the cover boy here. Honestly, not too impressed. It is a second baseman card. There's a lot of good second basemen out there. Typical Javi Baez, though. You're going to get a good defensive card here. 99 arm strength, so you can definitely play him at third base or shortstop. 80 speed. Also, if you guys don't know, you'll get that cool no-look tag animation where he's kind of like not looking in there, tagging tagging a runner out if you throw it to second, which is kind of cool feature they have for this card. The batting attributes are traditional for that 2018 Silver Slugger year. Low vision, though. I don't know if you're a Cubs fan, pick him up for a theme team. Other than that, I wouldn't scoop him up. I think there's better options. 98 overall, Billy Williams. Man, if this card would have came out earlier in the year, he would be a starter in a lot of people's lineups. He would have been a damn killer. But it came out too late in the year this season. Great card, great bench bat. That's about all you can use him for in the field. He has a very good swing. Once again, if you're a Cubbies fan, pick this guy up for your theme team. Great attributes. This would be a great card to have a month ago, 2 months ago. He would have been in a lot of people's starting lineup. It's disappointing he's coming out now. I always love playing with Billy Williams, but it's too late in the year for me to even think about putting him in my ranked season squad. Bart Blevin, another guy last year, had a great card. He has a good pitch repertoire with the curveball, 4-seam fastball, 12-6 curve, changeup, and 2-seam fastball. I wish he had a forkball or sinker. I think last year his card had a forkball. I'm not sure. Either way, he has a weird release and weird windup to hit against. The problem is they shafted him with 88 hits per 9. That's way too low. It's one of those things, like, why? Why are hits per 9 so low? If he had a hits per 9 in the 90s, he'd be usable as a starting pitcher. I think the 88 hits per 9 is going to make him too hittable. So it's going to have me stray away from this card as an option. But last year he was absolutely filthy. He's definitely the top end of the pack compared to some other cards. But the card's just disappointing in itself. Also, it looks like a 5-year-old had his signature. He's not holding the ball in the picture. What a goofy card. Anyway, let's move on to the next one here. Paul Goldschmidt. Once again, this could be a platoon bat, as in you want to play platoon guys at first base. The 125 max contact versus lefty, 99 power is pretty good, even though he has 64 vision. I don't know. I thought his power would be a little bit higher. He absolutely raked the lefties when he played for the Arizona Diamondbacks, so I'm not sure why his power's only 99 and not a little bit higher, but what are you going to do here? He's a decent fielder, but can only play first base. Once again, at the higher end of that pack, just being a 98 overall and has some uses as a bench bat, but a little bit disappointing in my personal opinion. Great guy for an Arizona Diamondbacks theme team, or if you consider him to be part of a St. Louis Cardinals theme team, even though he's wearing the Diamondbacks jersey here. Another guy you can pick up for that. Adam Jones, the only 99 overall in the pack. Great fielder, absolute defensive dynamo here. Decent card for hitting. Not the best. I think if you do get an option to pick this card and you want to try an outfielder, you've had some trouble with some outfielders, why not try the Adam Jones? I don't think he's amazing for the pack. So far, I think the guy that's a must-have is the Wade Davis. The Wade Davis and the Greg Holland, I think, are the two most usable cards in this pack, if I'm being honest, going over it. There's so many other outfielders. Like, for defense, if you're making, like, an all-defensive Gold Glove theme team, amazing. Like, look at this guy. 99 fielding, 92 arm strength, but honestly, like, his hitting's not that great. There's just way better options in the outfield. It's the same kind of the same thing I mentioned about Billy Williams. If these cards would have came out 2 months ago, they would have been amazing, but not now. It's just not enough. I think the two cards that are must-haves in this pack that could definitely help you out is the Wade Davis 100%. This is the best card in the entire package, is Wade Davis. I do think the Wainwright could be a sleeper, and I think that the Greg Holland could be usable, and the Lee Smith. Like, I think you're getting some closing pitchers out of here, some right-handed closing pitchers that you could definitely use with those three. Even the Clipper could be used necessarily, especially if you're a new player. But I do think the Wade Davis is 100% necessary out of this pack to keep. The rest of them are all, like I said, team affinity fodder, get your 5K extra stubs, whatever else. This is going to be a gold mine for easy stubs. Well, we've went over each of the cards pretty briefly. Let's look at the actual run it back pack here and see what we get. It looks like we actually got some good cards. I'm surprised. We did get the Andrew Jones 99 overall, and it looks like he's selling for a lot on the market right now. So we're going to pop up here and take him. If I was keeping the card out of this pack, I would keep the Greg Holland. However, why would you keep the Greg Holland? Quick sell this bad boy. Go grab yourself a Greg Holland, baby. Make a couple thousand stubs. I'm going to pick up this Andrew Jones. What a big pack opening. But it looks like you get 5 random. It looks like we can get just 5 random cards. That's what I was really opening the pack for. So, guys, when you do open this pack, you can get 5 random cards. I don't know what 5 you're going to get, but look, I didn't even get one of the crappy cards, but this isn't tiered or anything. I'm going to go with Andrew Jones here. We're going to sell him on the market. But, guys, this is going to wrap up the video on the Run It Back pack. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and share this video. You guys have a great day and be safe.